I never thought the day I'd watch my only son step into marriage would be the same day I'd be told to leave the venue I paid for. It happened so fast, I still hear her voice echo sometimes. Sharp, rehearsed, dripping with venom. "You're not welcome here, Evelyn," Sienna hissed, her manicured finger stabbing the air between us. "You've done enough damage. Leave." For a moment, I didn't move. I couldn't. The laughter stopped. The string quartet froze mid-note. All those people, the caterers, the planners, the photographers, every one of them had been hired by me. And now, every one of them was watching me be humiliated like a stranger in my own son's life. Lucas just stood there. My son. The same boy who once cried when I dropped him off at kindergarten. He stared at the floor, hands in his pockets, jaw tight. Not a word. Not even a glance my way. My throat went dry. The same lump that forms when you know your child is slipping away. But this time, I couldn't reach for him. I could only whisper to myself, "Don't cry." Not here. Not in front of her. I turned, clutching my silver clutch, the one carrying the $48,000 check I'd written 2 months ago to fund this entire spectacle. I walked past the tables I'd picked, the flowers I'd chosen, and the guests who couldn't even meet my eyes. As I stepped outside, the air hit me like a slap, cool, sharp, and humiliating. I sat in my car for a long moment, the world muted around me. Then, I let out one breath that came out shaky and broken. This wasn't just about embarrassment. It was betrayal. Deep, bone-deep betrayal from the two people I'd sacrificed everything for. My phone buzzed in the cup holder. Dozens of texts. "Why did you leave, Evelyn? Are you okay? Please don't make a scene." Not one person asking what they'd done to me. Not one asking if I was hurt. That's when I knew. I wasn't just excluded. I was erased. I looked at my reflection in the rearview mirror. My mascara had smudged. My lipstick was gone. And for the first time in my life, I didn't recognize the woman staring back at me. And right there, in that dim parking lot filled with laughter that wasn't meant for me, I made a silent promise. If I wasn't welcome at their wedding, neither was my money. Soft pause. I started the car, my hands trembling only slightly now. By the time I reached home, the tears were gone. Only one thing remained. Resolve. I sat at the kitchen table, the planner open in front of me. The Carter Moore wedding, embossed in gold on the cover. Every page, every vendor, every contract, signed by me. The flowers, the catering, the photographer, the string quartet, the open bar Lucas swore he'd pay back one day. I had done it all. For love, for pride, for family. I opened the first tab. The venue contract. My name, my credit card, my signature. I dialed the number printed at the top. A cheerful voice answered. "Good evening. This is the Riverstone Manor Events Office." "This is Evelyn Carter," I said. "I'm the contract holder for the Carter Moore wedding tomorrow." "Oh, yes. Everything's ready. We just finished the final layout." "Cancel it," I said softly. There was silence, then a confused stutter. I'm sorry. Cancel?" "Yes. Effective immediately. You'll find the clause under Section 4C, right to terminate before final use. I'll take the penalty." "End it." "Ma'am, this is highly unusual." "Noted," I said, and hung up. The next call was easier. The florist, then the caterer, then the photographer. Each conversation ended the same way, polite, cold, final. By midnight, the entire wedding was gone, just like that. A breath, and it was over. Pause. The next morning, The pounding on my front door started before sunrise. I ignored it the first few times. But when I finally opened it, Lucas stood there, eyes wild, hair disheveled. "Mum, what the hell did you do?" he demanded, his voice breaking. "The venue says you cancelled everything." I didn't flinch. "That's right. You can't do that. It's our wedding." I looked him straight in the eye. "No, Lucas. It was my gift. And I'm taking it back." He ran a hand through his hair. "You're overreacting." Sienna didn't mean what she said. "She told me to leave my own event," I said quietly. "And you let her." "I didn't want to make a scene." "Oh, but watching her humiliate me wasn't one?" His voice hardened. "You've always been like this. Controlling. This is why Dad left." The words landed like a blade twisting under the ribs, sharp and familiar. But I didn't let it show. I just breathed through it and said, "Then maybe you should join him." I opened the door wider. "You should go." He hesitated, eyes searching my face for a sign of guilt or weakness. There was none. He left, slamming the door so hard the sound echoed through the house. Soft sigh. And just like that, my silence became power. That afternoon, the phone rang again. My sister-in-law, then my ex-husband, each one preaching the same sermon. Be the bigger person. Let them have their day. I used to believe in being the bigger person. But sometimes, being the bigger person means walking away and locking the door behind you. Pause. That night, I poured myself a glass of wine and sat by the window. Outside, the street was quiet. Inside, my phone was buzzing non-stop with messages I refused to read. I wasn't going to cry for people who saw me as a wallet with a pulse. Instead, I opened my laptop and began to plan something different. Revenge wasn't rage. Revenge was calm. Revenge was clarity. And clarity had finally come. The night after Lucas stormed out, the silence in the house felt heavy. Not painful anymore, just still. For years, I'd filled silence with worry. Now, it sounded like freedom. I woke the next morning and did what I hadn't done in months. I brewed my coffee slowly. No phone, no planner, no background noise. I sat at the kitchen counter, scrolling through my emails, and that's when I saw it. A line item I didn't recognize. Payment confirmation. Seychelles honeymoon package. I froze. My breath caught halfway in my chest. The email was from a luxury resort. $25,600, paid with my American Express. I clicked the details, heart thudding. The names, Lucas Carter and Sienna Moore. The booking date? 3 weeks ago. While I was busy finalizing the cake vendor, they were using my card to book their luxury honeymoon. My hands trembled, not from grief this time, but from fury sharpened into control. They hadn't just taken advantage of me, they'd stolen from me. I scrolled through my credit card history, line after line. Sienna's bridal boutique, $9,800. Luxury spa, $3,500. Private chef deposit, $6,200. Every charge authorized under my account. That's when I whispered to myself, my voice low and steady. You thought you were robbing a fool. But you forgot. I keep receipts. I opened my contacts and tapped on a name I hadn't used in a while. Clara Hayes, my attorney, my calm in chaos. "Evelyn?" she greeted, her tone clipped and clear. "You sound different. What's wrong?" "Not wrong," I said. "Just done." Clara's office was sunlit, all glass and steel, overlooking the harbour. When I told her everything, the humiliation, the theft, the cancelled contracts, she didn't interrupt once. She just listened, her pen gliding across a legal pad. When I finished, She looked up and said, "You've done nothing illegal, Evelyn. Every contract, every payment, every authorization, all under your name. They can't touch you. But they did use your credit card. That's theft, and we can make that clear." "Do it?" I said. Her lips curved into a faint smile. "I thought you'd say that." The next day, I watched it unfold like dominoes falling in perfect rhythm. One by one, the vendors sent confirmations. "We've processed your cancellation, Mrs. Carter. Deposits refunded to the original payment source. Contract terminated per client request." By evening, Sienna's perfect day no longer existed. The venue was booked by another couple. The florist had taken a new client. The caterer posted about a last-minute availability that got snatched up within hours. It was like the wedding had never existed, erased with the same quiet precision I'd built it with. Pause. Then came the knock at my door. Lucas again. His voice cracked through the wood. "Mum, you can't do this." "Sienna's freaking out. The guests." "The guests," I repeated, my tone flat. "Not the family. Not me. The guests." He swallowed hard. "We can fix this? Just call them back. Please? I'll pay you back for everything you already did," I said softly. "With your silence." He stood there, speechless. "You chose her, Lucas. You watched her throw me out. And I watched you do nothing. Now you'll both learn what it feels like to have nothing." I closed the door slowly, not in anger, not in haste. Just, finally. That night, as I poured myself another glass of wine, a notification buzzed on my phone. Instagram. Sienna Moore's post. She sat in her bedroom, crocodile tears glistening. Caption: "Please pray for us. My fiancé's mother cancelled our entire wedding out of jealousy and control." Thousands of comments flooded in. "You're better off without her? She sounds toxic. Cut her out for good." I stared at the screen, my pulse calm. Then I whispered to myself, "Let them talk. They'll see soon enough I took a screenshot of everything. Every post, every lie, every fabricated sob story. Because truth doesn't need a spotlight. It needs patience. And I had plenty of that. The next morning, Clara called. Her voice was steady, professional. But I could hear the satisfaction underneath. "I've drafted everything," she said. "Cease and desist for defamation. Notice of fraudulent use of funds. One to Sienna, one to Lucas, and one to her parents. Certified and electronic." I closed my eyes, exhaling slowly. "Thank you, Clara." "Oh, and one more thing," she added. "I checked that old college account you told me about, the one you set up for Lucas. He's been pulling money from it again. 7,000 last month, the calm in me solidified into steel. Freeze it." "Already done." I smiled faintly. "You're good." "I learn from my clients," she said dryly. Pause. By that evening, the fallout began. The vendors, the venue, even the band, all confirmed the same thing online. We were contracted by Evelyn Carter. All bookings under her name. Client exercised full right to cancel. People started connecting the dots. Wedding gossip pages picked it up first, then local forums. Someone leaked screenshots of Sienna's honeymoon package, my card, her name. The comments turned quickly. Wait, she stole from her fiancé's mom? Wow. She humiliated the woman funding her wedding. Karma hits fast. And for the first time in weeks, I didn't feel like a victim. I felt like a woman reclaiming her narrative. The phone calls started again. Lucas, Sienna's parents, even David, my ex-husband. David's tone was sharp. "You've gone too far, Evelyn. You're ruining their reputation." I laughed softly. "I didn't ruin anything, David." "They did. You always have to win, don't you? He snapped. No, I said, voice quiet but firm. I just stopped losing. And I hung up. Soft pause. Later that night, I got a message from Clara. She'd attached screenshots. Sienna's Instagram, gone. Lucas, profile locked. The narrative was collapsing, one post at a time. The truth had crawled out. Slow, merciless, undeniable. A week later, I checked into a seaside hotel, the kind of place I used to dream of visiting. Blue water, open sky, the faint hum of waves against the shore. At 2 p.m., I poured myself a glass of champagne and leaned on the balcony rail. That was supposed to be their ceremony time. Instead, the Riverstone Manor was booked for another couple, one who probably thanked the staff with real gratitude. I took a picture, the horizon glowing gold, my glass glinting in the sunlight, and posted it with a simple caption. Peace looks good on me. No names, no explanations, just truth. Pause. By the next morning, I didn't need to look for updates. They came to me. Friends messaged, strangers sent support. Even Linda, my sister-in-law, called crying. Evelyn? She said. I'm sorry. I didn't know. We all believed her. We thought you were cruel. I smiled softly. It's all right. Truth doesn't need defenders. It only needs time. Soft sigh. A few days later, an email appeared in my inbox. From Lucas. Mum, we made mistakes. We were wrong. Please, can we talk? I stared at it for a long time. Then, slowly, I clicked delete. For years, I thought being a good mother meant forgiveness, unconditional, endless, no matter what. But forgiveness without accountability isn't love, it's permission. I poured another glass of champagne and watched the sun sink beneath the ocean. The light shimmered across the water, soft and endless, like peace itself. I whispered to no one in particular. They thought they could humiliate me and still live off my kindness. They were wrong. Pause. I wasn't their wallet. I was their wake-up call. And as the waves rolled gently against the shore, I smiled. Not out of spite, but out of freedom. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge is finally being at peace.